Underminer. The deadline has changed. I have never missed a deadline. 99 more Gilganbots shipped to the surface to complement the flooding.
This day will still be mine. The fall of civilization will be the rise of the Underminer. Reports confirm those supers are heading in your direction.
All right, workers, let's get these bots finished. Watch for intruders. They'll be the ones trying to destroy my factory.
What a ride!
Hello. Hi. Welcome back to Rise of the Underminer. I am Tim. And I am talking to you now. This is the Crustodian's lair. And the Crustodian is probably one of the more annoying, probably the most annoying boss in the game. And you're going to notice that in this level, there are a bunch of mini Crustodians, except I don't even think they're mini. I think, yeah, they're here right now. They look exactly like that dude that we just saw in that cutscene, except I guess a little smaller. But yeah, these things are the biggest pain in the ass enemies ever. You need to... walker bots is what they're called, okay. Maybe the Crustodian is just a kind of walker bot, just a bigger one, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, you need to freeze them, and then you need to punch them, which, if you're me and you are being an idiot, or if you are a NPC, or not NPC, what do you call it? A CPU, Mr. Incredible. Yeah, I die because I'm a fucking idiot. And I completely forgot about this. This is the section of the game that I kind of didn't remember quite as much about, because I guess it was hard, and this is one of those levels that, like, if I was just playing through this game willy-nilly as a child after school, I'd get through, you know, what we've seen so far, the first, like, 2 hours of the game, and then I'd get to here, and I'd be dying against these things, and I'd be like, maybe video games are bad. I don't want to do this. And yeah, I felt like an idiot just waiting there as Mr. Incredible because you need Frozone to beat these things. But they take 1 trillion hits, and then yeah, I just gotta sit here and wait again. Luckily, this is the only one of these that really ended up this way, although plenty of stupid shit occurred in the course of doing this level. And then, yeah, and then the big problem is that you gotta get Frozone out of there, and if you don't take him over immediately, then he'll just get murdered again by the guy, so. This is a good place to use on my controller, it's I think the left D-pad button, where it makes your CPU partner be more aggressive. And I usually do it whenever I'm beating up the walker bots, because otherwise Mr. Incredible will just like, yeah, just, you know, just a couple, just 2 or 3 little punches, I'll do it. And that's not true. You gotta mash that shit. The Crustodian and walker bots, they really did a number on my fucking X button on my controller. I tell you what.
Those don't look very inviting. Yeah, those lasers are bad news.
I hate how all of these robots have the fucking force field now. It makes everything take 1,000,000 years longer. Although I do like, and you'll see me do a lot of it in these coming levels, yeah, you can really... I never even remembered doing this. Maybe I never did it when I was a kid, but you can use the shorter robots. The hitboxes on their force fields will, like, make your ice glide go upward, give you a little more air. So you can stay airborne for quite a long time just going in circles all over them, and that it's also counting as hitting them. So it depletes their force field more quickly. And, yeah, I thought you had to... Doesn't this look like you have to freeze them? But I didn't move an inch ahead to get the hint that I need to smash through the giant robot. Which, this doesn't look like a giant robot. It looks like a... Those look like, you know, just machines. I mean, I guess a robot is a machine, but... But yeah, so that's a fun little trick to do, doing the Frozone ice glide and zipping around. It depletes the force fields, and then I almost always do the ice glide to hit enemies just because it's more damage, it knocks them back, and it usually only takes 2 of them to kill most of the smaller enemies. So that is my Incredibles Rise of the Underminer Frozone tips and tricks from Timbo on how to be the best guy. But yeah, this is what life is for a player of this game at this juncture, is just beating up these fucking guys for 10 minutes. And the game really just does not have any shortage of them. And it's really annoying. It just about did it there, but sometimes if you start freezing it too late into its hammering cycle, then it will extremely slowly be able to touch the hammer down to the ground, but it will still have the same exact little shock wave that hurts you, and then, you know, your whole freezing is all kaput, and it's just dumb dog shit. But, and you know, nothing... There's always gonna be some dumb dog shit in video games, because it's not made... First of all, it's made to be, like, challenging, and also, it ain't life. Although life is challenging and stupid and needlessly complicated and Sisyphean in some of the struggles you have to undergo to even just be a normal, functioning member of adult society. And if this sounds like a segue, it's because it is. I today spent about 2 hours in my city's unemployment office because so you file a claim, you know, you request a claim for benefits online entirely. But then after I did the whole thing, it said, like, you're eligible, and they gave me a pin and everything, and then they were like, but we need more information before we can fully approve it, so call the number, and it gave me the number for the unemployment office, and you tell them, and they get it squared away, and then you get your benefits. And it told me I needed to do that before December 6th. And so that was magnificent jumping on my part. So I tried every day for more than a week to, because mind you, these are my benefits for the 2 weeks I didn't work of the week before and the week of Thanksgiving. And, you know, I finished my last job in the second week of November, I think. And then, you know, I've been looking and doing interviews and stuff for new jobs since then, but I don't have anything, and I have very little money. And, I mean, I obviously got to pay for rent and food and shit, but also I have student loan payments coming in now, which I guess I could defer or default on, but I would like to not if I can help it. But anyway, just so, you know, the unemployment would be a good, yeah, that move there. Not to interrupt my own story, but that's a good one. When it works out, that's what you can do, is just hover above them for a while, and then they wake up and you knock them out. Look at this shit. Amazing. Amazing strat. I'm sure someone has taken it even further before. If you're really lucky, you can freeze them right in front of the walker bot, and then the walker bot just destroys them with the hammer. just, does your job for you. But anyway, I tried for like a week, and it didn't even let me leave a voicemail, and they'll call me back or anything. It would just say, we can't complete your call, like the line was busy, and apparently it is because the unemployment office is severely understaffed. Which, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. Too many people have other jobs that they can't get jobs at the unemployment office, but it sucks. And apparently they know that it's almost impossible to actually get someone on their regular line. And so that was probably a waste of a super move. But so they have a whole separate thing where they have these offices where you can go in, and they have phones that are they're always connected to a representative, or, a HR, whatever the fuck, person who works for unemployment, and you can talk to them about whatever you need. So I go in there to do that, and I ended up waiting. They called all the numbers before me, and then some of the numbers after me, because they just skipped over me for some reason, and like half the staff was at lunch. But I'm not trying to blame the office too much. I just think it's fucking stupid that the process for getting unemployment benefits is such that you do all of the information online, and then you have to, if there's any sort of, if there's, like with me, anything where the exact circumstance isn't something that will just be a, fill in answer on a drop-down menu on your average website, but you'll still qualify, then you have to call them at this number that they themselves contend is, like, impossible to actually use. And so you have to go to a physical location that has, by the way, 2 phones for everyone to use to conduct their bit. I just don't like... just, again, to be a normal member of society, like, you don't have a job, you need some money, well, like, your whole afternoon will just be waiting in this nondescript gray building with other... as with everything, I had a similar story when I went to get my license renewed at the DMV. Or not renewed, but to get a new license for the new state I'm in. And the main thing that gave me any sort of reprieve from, because I'm such an anxious and antsy person, I hate not only waiting in a waiting room and having to sit still for like an hour or more, but also like not having any fucking idea what's going on during that whole time, because like no one was coming out and saying, and everything that was going on was all the way down the hall, so I had no conception of like how much longer it would be. And like my girlfriend drove me there and was just waiting outside forever, and because I thought the way they described it on the phone is it was like a very quick and dirty thing, but she ended up just going to the grocery store and buying all our groceries while I was there, and she had time. But I'll let the cutscene go.
I was ordered to make 100 giant Gilgan bots. Then my function would have been complete, but my factory was unable to finish more than 97 by today's deadline. 96 of them are in the hangar, and the Underminer has 1 up top. That means we missed by 3. Unacceptable. I have set the factory to self-destruct to cover my failure.
Well, that's 96 robots we won't have to destroy ourselves. Knock yourself out!
Negative, Topsider. I will need to destroy everything. It's a pity this hemisphere of the planet will need to go to.
I love these robots with just wanton destruction, like destructive instincts. I don't entirely get what the Underminer's deal is. I know that his whole thing is that he wants to flip the world, like, upside down. He wants to make the underground above ground. But, like, why? What will be better for you when that happens? Do you just love dirt? Or are you just mad that, the sky isn't dirt, you know, above ground, like it is underground? Why don't you just stay underground? Or is it like a, I don't like being beneath you? But it's like all your favorite things are like drills and shit. So I don't know, but I think that might be it. It's just like I don't like that you guys get to live on the top and I have to live in the fucking dirt. With all my robot friends. And it's like, I don't know. He looks like a mole kind of guy. He's like a man mole, a mole man. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like he would be fine with how the, like, underground world is. I don't know. I question the motives of lots of, like, supervillains in fiction, because it's like, well, what do you, what do you expect to get from this? I'm just not sure what Underminer's going for here. I mean, is it just regular, like, I want to rule the world, and I'm gonna make everything dirt because it's fun, and murder is fun? Like, because, I mean, I would get that. I mean, you know, at least... Because there are uncomplicated people with uncomplicated motives all throughout history. Some people are really just like, I want to do this because I just love killing other human beings. This evil thing that I want to do. It's not a particularly interesting motivation, but like Donald Trump, all these op-eds trying to, like, what does Donald Trump really believe? What does he want? And it's like, he doesn't believe anything. He wants, you know, people to say his name, and then, you know, beyond that, it's just the same as everybody else. He wants to watch TV and eat hamburgers and, you know, get pussy. It's just like, he's a very simple, dumb man, and, you know, everything he does has a pretty easy explanation, in my opinion. But I don't want to get into that. I always forget that Donald Trump is like a political figure sometimes. Like, I know he's the president, obviously, but, like, to me, he's just, like, the funny dumb man that we all have to hear about all the time. And, I mean, obviously, there is a much more negative material reality that doesn't affect me as much that comes from his being president, that I absolutely am aware of. But, I'm just saying, like, in my day-to-day life, he's just another funny man on my phone. I don't like him, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like it doesn't make me laugh when he talks about how people flush their toilets too much. Anyway. But about the unemployment thing, I was just going to say that with all of that, you know, all the annoyance of waiting in a waiting room that everyone feels, the only thing that gives me any reprieve in that or the DMV is the other people around you who are bitching and who also are having a shit day and are pissed off at having to deal with everything. And almost everybody that was sitting with me, I got up and asked after a while. I was like, hey, my number's been next for like an hour. I was just wondering, like, is this ever gonna happen? Like, is this a joke? I mean, I didn't say that, but I was like, is anyone gonna come out soon? And, you know, she said, yeah, I don't know, because people working there don't know what the fuck's going on. They're just working there, telling me where to go. But then all the other people, I just, like, started a flurry of bitching, and everyone was like, you know, yeah, I tried to call the number for, like, 2 weeks, and then I had to come in here, and that's when it really just sunk in how fucking arbitrary and stupid the process is, and we basically just had the rumination that I just had in this video of just like, man, why is it so fucking hard to just be a person in the world? It can't be nothing can be simple for people who have to actually work for a living and to survive and not die. But the good news is everything's all squared away, benefits are in place, and so now I don't feel like as much of a stinky bum. But anyway, that was the Crustodian. I talked over all that annoying-ass boss. See you next time.